Jody Williams, how you doing, brother?
What's up, man? You know it's a special day when we're on a different day, and we're a few minutes early.
A few minutes early. We have gone through a couple reschedules, and hopefully we get some people tuning in for this one. We got one. I see one going
Thank you,
on
Justin.
in the viewers here. We got a few comments already. Dustin has commented a little while ago, waiting for the show. So here we go, man.
There's Scott. He's in the house. But I will say this, though. Just want to say huge shout out to all the veterans out there. Happy Veterans Day.
Is that today?
That's today.
See, we have Remembrance Day.
Yeah, how'd that work out for you guys? For us,
tomorrow.
Is it in November too?
It's tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it is the same sort of a holiday. However, it's the one day off that I have per year where I am not allowed to conduct business.
Well, it's on a weekend anyway, right?
Well, I mean, real estate never takes a break.
That's true.
Except for Remembrance Day. Cannot do it. They will give me a $10,000 fine if I'm caught doing business.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Wow. So I know for us, like my wife, she's off today. So like if you work for like, the government offices, school, whatever, the bank, that they're closed today.
Hey, let me ask you or tell you a story here. You and I got together and we decided we were going to keep postponing this thing so that we could avoid Cody Merritt. And he kept trying to tune back in, and he has finally chased us down to Friday here. And we can't wait any longer, and he's still here. So it didn't work, Jody. Your plan didn't work.
Oh, well. But everybody, sorry for the inconvenience. There was a lot going on between Ryan and myself, separately as far as scheduling conflicts and all that kind of stuff. But you know what, though? We're here now. It's a Friday, and let's get it together. Thank you, Cody.
Cody, next time put some money down so we actually read your comment.
Super chats are always welcome. So, Ryan, my friend.
Where do you want to start?
Well, let's talk about what's really been going on. Something positive for a change. Tomorrow, East vs. West. Where are we at, number 10?
Yeah, I have pre-purchased my pay-per-view. I got to nail down the time, and the only way I can do that is going onto the Core Sports website, because once you buy it, there's a countdown clock. So It will tell you exactly when it starts. I just haven't subtracted the amount of hours to see the exact time it starts, but I can't work tomorrow anyway. So
you got all day.
Yeah, I got all day. Okay, I gotta
word drink.
New member.
Yes.
I gotta. Oh, Cody.
Well, I'll tell you what. 11 matches, everybody. 11 matches, and 6 of them are world title matches. So,
well, you want to start going through them right now?
Now, when I go through, I got my list right here in front of me, but I don't know what order.
Well, I've got the poster in front of me.
Yeah, that's what I got too.
So we've got, the smaller highlighted ones we should go through first.
I can predict the last 3 will go in order, but the ones before that, I don't know.
Rosa Maria Acosta versus Fia Risic.
Now, let me tell you something. Because I'm a big Fia fan, but Arena is big time. She is big time. And that will be for the women's 70K championship. The first of 6 titles, Arena, I've seen footage of her and pictures. You see those pictures of some of the pullers, and they got like 27 medals around their neck and stuff, or they got 7 here, 8 here, 9 over here and stuff. And there's a picture of her floating around here somewhere I saw with a bunch of medals around her neck. And then I'm thinking, okay, how good is she? And I saw some footage, and then I was like, okay. And I was like, she's the real deal. She's the real deal. But can you go against somebody from Sweden?
I I don't know, Fia is a first ballot Hall of Famer if we had such a thing at the world level, but she's amazing. I couldn't pick it, but it's a right arm super match, Jay Clean. It is not a title match. So Rosa versus Fia.
Wait, whoa. We talking about the same one?
Are we talking about the same one?
I thought Arenia was pulling Fia Rising for the 70K title match.
No.
Did they update the poster?
I don't know how old this poster is, my man, but it says Rosa versus Fia on this one.
Oh, because the poster I got had Arenia Glad Kaya versus Fia right-handed.
That's a whole different story.
Yeah, she's right-handed for the 70K belt.
Okay. Then we are. Oh, there you go. Marco says Arena pulled out a few weeks back. So mine is more up to date.
Okay, so then everybody, we make mistakes, but we don't do take twos. We go live. My mistake. Cross that one out.
So I'm taking Fia.
Yes, I'll do that too, as the fact that Arena pulled out. So, because I have no idea her opponent. I thought she was still pulling Arena, but there you go. That's what happens when you don't stay in the world. And besides, if she pulled out a few weeks ago, I think my head was in the clouds a few weeks ago, going through a bunch of bullshit. But hey, it's all right.
So the weird thing is, even on this undercard, like these bottom 6 matches, there's 3 title matches on the bottom 6 matches.
Like, but does that mean it's going in order though?
It's not necessarily. Well, I mean, you got to assume that these 6 matches that are smaller pictures would go, and then they would do like the Brzinks and the Sashos and the Zaur and Georgie.
Well, okay, how about this? This is going to be a shit show today. Is Sasha still pulling both hands that day?
Yes, he is.
Okay, well, at least I'm right on that one. Sorry, Jay Clean.
He's got 2 title matches. So next up, we got Frank Lamparelli versus Matt Mask.
Okay, so with Matt, remember a while ago, Ryan, you and I talked about how sometimes you can lose a match and still go up, right? Your stock can go up. And at that last AEW, was that Magnus event?
Yeah.
Where Matt came back after being down 3-0, came back and tied that match up, but he lost in the shoulder press. And his stock rose. Next time we saw Matt was at the King of Table versus Ron Bath. Just kind of went through him. Stock kept rising. So now we're at a point he's back on East vs. West. Now, we know as far as East vs. West goes with Matt, hasn't been the best, right? To the point where I'm going to take time off. I'm going to go ahead and reinvent myself. Hair plugs and all. Decided, hey, they're going to have an East vs. West qualifier. I'm going to put my name in the hat. I'm going to fucking win the thing. He won it, which got him on this card right here. What do you think?
Man, I mean, Matt should on paper. I don't even know if I can say that. I think I'm going to go with Frank. I think Frank's going to come out with a win.
I'm going Matt 3-2.
I don't know how it's going to end, but I think probably Matt wins a couple. But
I'm going to write these down, Ron. You know that, right?
I'm an underdog, man. I think Matt would be the favorite.
What do you call the score? Because I'm writing these down right here.
Let's go 3-2 then. I'll take Frank, the exact opposite of yours.
All right.
Now, here's a match that we need to be excited about. Artem Tainov versus Sasha Andreev, left arm middleweight world title super match.
Well, it's left hand. Of course, we're going to be excited about that. Even Cody Merritt is excited about that. Anytime you have a left-handed match, we are excited, people. You know that, right?
Yeah.
How good is Sasha left-handed, though?
I don't know.
Because I haven't seen Sasha left-handed before, just being honest.
I don't recall seeing a ton of stuff when I'm left-handed, but Tainov is good. I will take Tainov.
What score you got?
3-1.
I'm gonna do the same thing only because I haven't seen Sasha left hand. That's like saying Tim Breslin versus Cody Merritt right-handed. Like, what the fuck, you know?
Well, you assume Tim, but you don't know for sure, right?
Well, I mean, you know, and I hate to use Cody as a, you know, for this segment, but, you know, Cody's known for his left, not his right. So if you put him out there in a big match right-handed, what are you going to get, you know?
Well, Jay Clean's telling us that Sasha looks better on the right than the left than the right.
Really? How come he hasn't had a bunch of matches on the left then?
Well, maybe the gap. I don't know. Maybe the gap in talent.
Well, we both say.
But Sasha was also going up on all these matches are above his natural weight class. So
if that's a title match, you mean this dude has 2 title matches the same day?
he does.
Wow.
Hopefully he's like very, very early in the card so he can rest up for his right arm match.
He better be, because I'm like, man, I know how that goes. Who's next?
Well, let's fly through some of these. This match I'm really excited about. Ivan Matyushenko, who is coming back. He's been around the sport forever. Against the Golden Dragon, Kamil Jablonski.
You know what? I'm thinking he's another one of those guys where he just rose. I was real impressive when Kamil pulled Chafee at that knuckles up. You were there, weren't you?
I was there, yeah.
Tell me what you saw in person.
Too much explosivity and such a strong belief in himself and confidence going into that match. I actually believed that Kamil would get the job done just based on styles in the Chafee match, and the fact that, you know, I felt Dave was a little bit compromised. But I have pulled Ivan. I have pinned Ivan. He's looking a little thicker. Kamil is strong, man. He's strong and he's explosive and he's training his ass off. I will take Kamil 3-0 in this match.
Ooh, I just put that on here. Well, if y'all can see that, 3-0.
Yeah.
Now, this is where it starts to get tricky, because Irakli versus Rustam Babayev. And you got to know, we've seen these guys go up. We've seen these guys come down. The loser of this match, where does that put them?
Oh, man. Where does it put them?
Yeah, I mean, it's an honest question because we've seen them. Aren't they both coming off losses of their last outing?
Yeah, but I mean, you got 1A and 1B here, so I don't think it hurts either one. Like, either one of them is getting the match on the next event for sure. Doesn't matter what they finish. If it's competitive, which I think it will be, I don't think Babayev is going to win this match. I think Irakli is going to take it.
Think so?
Well, there's too many maybes, and Jay Clean kind of said it perfectly right here. I don't know if we've seen Babayev in perfect form in the last little while. So him putting it all together and bringing it to this event, I don't see it. I think Irakli wins, and it's going to be a 3-1, I think.
Think so?
Yeah.
Okay, Ryan says 3-1. I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go Babayev 3-2, because I look at it like this. When you take time off and healthy, to be on a big stage like that, you want to be at your best. And I'm sure as an athlete, and I guess in this sense, a paid athlete, your job is to come in healthy as possible. You know? So I think Rustam is going to be ready to go.
So that concludes. We got one more. Right arm middleweight world title super match. And this will conclude the undercard. David Samushia versus Abdul Manaf. Sorry about my pronunciation, guys. And we saw this guy.
Yeah.
Was it the last card?
I want to say yeah, but I can't remember who he pulled.
Help us out, chat. Who is his opponent the last time we saw him?
Now, is this for the welterweight title, right hand?
The welterweight world title.
Okay. Because originally it was supposed to be Ingen, so I
Right.
like how these posters come out.
Oh, he has not pulled East versus West. Where would I have just seen this guy?
Was it Wath?
Maybe, but regardless of that, I don't see Samushia getting beaten by this fella. I mean, it's too much of an unknown and a last minute replacement with Ingen's injury. I'm sure he's amazing, but Samushia training for Ingen had to be ready for this.
Well, okay, you know how that kind of feels, right? Because sometimes those last minute injuries can be tricky. Because if I'm not mistaken, Ryan, weren't you involved in something like that at the Knuckles Up because you were training for Wagner, and then he pulled out of it, and then you had a last minute, opponent? Yes.
Yeah.
So you know how that, and I don't know. Take us back to your training. When you train for a certain person, right? And everyone approaches it differently. When you train with for a certain opponent, and you're like going, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and then last minute you find out your opponent cannot make it for whatever reason, then you kind of go, okay, now I'm skeptical. Who am I?
It's slightly different. It's slightly different, and I only say that because Ingen is extremely versatile. He can kind of pull anywhere, so he would have been preparing for basically his A moves. I don't think his training would have changed all that much.
You're talking about Ingen or DeVitt?
DeVitt would have kept training normally. So
right.
He was originally training for Ingen, preparing for a guy that can kind of pull anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I see it anyway.
So off track, off kind of going off track for a second, not to give away secrets for you, but when you train for a certain person, are you training to see where their strengths or weaknesses are? Or are you training to go, you know what? I'm going to train my style the best I can be. I mean, how does that, because everyone does that differently.
Well, it depends. I mean, with Wagner, you had a very specific thing you needed to defend against or beat. So you could train a very specific way for someone like that. But I didn't change it up a tremendous amount.
Right.
When it changed to Pavlo.
Does it mess with your psyche?
No, because I think for me, whatever I made up or whatever I was doing to train, it's kind of offset by the fact that somebody's taking it on short notice.
Right. Was just curious. That's all.
Yeah. No, not really.
Sarah Backman is back.
She is.
Pulling for the women's 80K title match.
I'm going to highlight this one quick before we get into it. Versus Egla.
How do you become 200% ready, and then in the interview you go down to 80%?
Yeah.
The hell does that mean?
You lost 120%.
Just from the interview? My Lord.
Maybe it's just some head games. I don't know.
Ain't nobody buying that head game. I'm sorry. That is amazing. No one's buying that. Yeah, Sarah Back was back. She's pulling and help me with the pronunciation.
Egla.
Didn't we see her pull Gabby last time?
I believe we did.
And that was the last time we've seen her on the stage, right?
Yeah.
So is Sarah ready this time? Like, is she 100% healthy?
That's the issue. It's the same issue with Rustum. If Sarah's ready, I think she wins. If she isn't, she doesn't. So if she's injury-free and 100% ready to roll, she's going to win this match. if she is 85%, she probably loses in the later rounds.
Yeah, but this ain't King of the Table.
No, it's still best of 5.
Right.
However, I've seen so many matches where somebody has, dropped a couple matches and come back. I think you could see the same thing here.
And Jay Clinton says Egley looks a lot better now than she did against Gabby. And here's the thing, because the difference, I hate to compare promotions, but when you have a promotion that goes, hey, we're pulling best of 5, compared to a promotion that says, hey, we're going 6 rounds no matter what, the best of 5, you don't have a lot of leadway. You don't have a lot of wiggle room, meaning that, okay, King of Table, you can burn maybe a match or two to find out what your opponent's doing. You don't have that opportunity over here in East vs. West, which means you got to make sure every match counts, every ready go counts, because it's a race to 3 and that's it. There ain't no, you need 4, you go the whole 6 to prove something. You don't have that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even Jay Clean agrees to that. Sweet spot, right?
Well, I'm going to take Egley 3-2.
Just to be different, I'm going Sarah Backman 3-1.
And I think I've picked a few underdogs here. I think they would be considered underdogs.
Well, I'll tell you what. Speaking of somebody who's an underdog, speaking of somebody who was ready to step in when we had an injury, I've been waiting for this guy to hop on the scene for a long time now, everybody. Zauer, because I'm telling you what, training with Dennis. And remember, when Jerry had his flight issues, pneumonia, is he going to make it to pull Hermes Gasparini? And Zauer said, hey, pencil me in. I'm ready to roll. Never happened because Jerry finally made it. But, man, oh, man, I'm finally getting a chance to see this guy in action. I'm kind of excited. What do you think?
Hey, me too. Like, I want to know how good is this guy. I want to see what he does against some top-tier competition. Now, we've seen him a lot in Russia, and we've seen him beat some really good guys. But he also has been out with an injury or a few injuries. He's stepping up to pull, and it's not a title match. It's just Georgie versus Zauer. And if he wins, Zauer that is, he is the guy that everyone's talking about, how he's bigger than Levon and he's going to, be the next big thing. He could be the next title challenger for the winner of the main event. I mean, he's the guy, if he gets by Georgie, that could.
You got to be careful about, is bigger always better? and you got to be careful because the bigger you are, a couple of factors play in. One, all right, or I'm so sorry, if you got bigger muscle, blood's going to get to the muscle quicker than most, right? So there's that. And you got to question your stamina, And I'm glad Jay Clean put that up there, because tournament style and, super matches is different. Where if Ryan and I are pulling a super match, you have, okay, I need a plan B, plan C, maybe plan D. Whereas in a tournament, I'm going to give you my A game every single match because it's a different opponent. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So this comment, Zauer might be the worst elite puller when the match stops. Based on that comment, I'm going to say Georgie wins this match. Because Georgie will stop that match. Might not be the first one, might not be the second one, but he'll find a way.
But, and I'm going to say this, because I like what was said about that, but at the same time, when Georgie stops matches, he seems like he doesn't know what to do. We saw that versus Devin. We saw that versus Jerry. He didn't know what to. He stopped Jerry's press, but didn't know how to finish it.
Well, there was a lane wide open that he just kind of ignored.
So again, if Zara goes to the hit and Georgie stops it, does he know how to finish it off? That's what it comes down to.
I still think Georgie's going to win.
What's the score?
3-2.
You know what? I'm on the Zara train. I want to see what this guy can do.
I think he's going to be out of there.
Think so?
We'll see. Georgie is acting like the gatekeeper in this match, I think. If he gets by Georgie, then the sky's the limit. Maybe he gets a couple more matches. Maybe he goes against the loser of the main event.
What the hell's a gatekeeper anyway? Is that a good thing, or I've been called that? And is that good or bad or what?
It can be both, but they're relying on a certain arm wrestler to test if a certain person belongs. That's so, like, the gatekeeper role.
Does that mean like, hey, you want to be with the big boys, you got to go through me first? It's kind of like that?
Pretty much. Pretty much. Do they belong in the division? Do they belong on the card? Do they belong at the event? If he comes in here and has a competitive match with Georgie, doesn't have to win it. He just has to be competitive. You can make an argument that he belongs back in here numerous times.
Right.
Right? But,
oh, yeah.
I mean, you take Matt Mask, for example. There's the loss to win ratio is pretty high, but he keeps proving that he should be around.
It just seems like with Matt, his case, it's like if it's anything aside from East First West, he pretty much, he kills it.
Well, yeah, but I mean, let's face it, the qualifier to get here, he had what's the guy's name in the final there?
Was that Matt pulled?
Jerome Loud.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't see Jerome Loud for a while before that, and we haven't really heard much out of him since.
Well, he's not a social media guy, first of all. So
yeah,
there's that.
As a result, like if he's setting the world on fire competing, we're still going to see him.
I was just going to say something, and Jay Clean beat me to it. So Derek Smith came back 3 times. That should tell you all you need to know. So for that reason, I'm picking Matt to win against Frank, because Derek, I mean, for a while he went 0-2, and then kind of like, not that he was hiding. He had a match with Austin Jaggers, and he lost that one. So at some point, you got to win, right? At some point, you got to win. So that's why I'm picking Matt. Now, the last 3 matches, and I'm assuming this card is going to take about 4 hours. So
yeah, that's being generous, man. 4 hours.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be longer than that.
We got 3 matches left, everybody.
The last match will take an hour just to get set up.
It'll take 30 minutes just for the ready go, because it's going to be so much bullshit. But out of all 11 matches, this match we're about to talk about right now, in my opinion, I'm just speaking for myself, is my favorite match on the card. Sorry, Dennis and Devin, you don't get the nod, because I am so intrigued with this matchup coming right here. When you have Tadzilla versus Angarbayev, that is the match I'm most excited about on this card. What does everybody think?
I'm excited. I'm not as excited as you are.
Dude, it's so much power versus technique, right? I mean,
I agree and I disagree, because I think Angarbayev is very strong.
Oh, hey. It's the yin and yang, right? You know how in arm wrestling, it's like, oh, it's the classic top roller versus the classic hook puller. Who's going to win? It's the classic power puller against the speed. And now with this one, you can go even a step further if you wanted to. You got the raw horsepower of Todd. Crack my hand this way. I don't give a damn. I'm coming this way anyway. Then you got the technician over here in Angarbayev. And remember, on this stage, East versus West, Angarbayev has wins over Michael Todd, John Brzezinski, And I think he beat Iraqli, did he not?
I don't recall, but
did he pull Iraqli? It was he pulled somebody else too. So he's I'm telling you, Kazakhstan is the real deal. So
well, of course.
I'm telling you,
but
it is like it's hard for me to pick somebody.
I'm taking Todd Hutchings.
No. Yeah. It's just normally with a Toddzilla match, I'm like, oh, Todd wins. But I'm digging my heels in this one for a second because of what this particular guy presents.
Yeah, but he's also got long levers, and he's going to try to, like, I just hope he doesn't try to top roll Todd, because he'll lose in a press.
Here's the thing that doesn't get talked about with Todd. He also has great, tremendous stamina.
Of course he does. His style makes him have tremendous stamina.
Right. But I'll say this, and it's going to go like this. Todd's going to win, but and I'm saying 3-1. And the one win that Unger Barv will have is because Todd will elbow fall twice.
I think Angerbayev pins him twice.
Woo!
But loses 3-2.
So Ryan says Todd 3-2. I say Todd 3-1. And again, that'll be the match I'm looking forward to. Like, I'm going to go to my buddy's house, my training partner. We're going to go do a little training and watch the event, do a little barbecue, whatever. But I swear to God, when that match comes on, I'm dropping everything. Chalk bucket, whatever, to watch that. That's how.
When we're done these predictions, I'll tell you what my favorite one on this card is too.
Oh, yeah. And once we shut the show down, I need to talk to you for about 5 minutes after the show.
Okay.
Calm down, people. Don't get all excited. Sorry, Scott. So, yeah. Now, down to 2 matches. Berzink, Sasho. Now, there's something to be said when you have 2 matches on the card, Mr. Espey. Both of them title matches.
I don't know that. I don't think that's going to be a factor at all.
You see John looking lean, 6-pack and everything?
Yeah, 600 calories a day will do that way for you.
Don't tell RBJ that. Don't tell RBJ that. He'll lose his spit.
Yeah. Genetics.
Or he just said, I'm going to lay off the beer for this match.
No, I don't think so. I think
John 3-1.
No. I don't think so. I have to assume that he's going to lose a little bit of power with the diet.
Think so?
Yes. And Jay, I don't think he'll be 220 by match start because I don't think he did a water cut. I think he lost most of that weight ahead of time. I think Sasho is going to win that match.
Ooh.
3-1.
Ryan picks Sasho to win 3-1. I'm picking John to win 3-1. Wouldn't that be funny if Sasho ended up winning both belts?
Dan, I guess we'll see, buddy. He'll be stronger after dropping a bunch of weight and being calorie restricted. That completely goes against all logic.
And here's the thing, man. Like, as far as all this weight cutting stuff, and I was never an amateur wrestler, so I never did that in high school. So cutting weight was weird to me. I've done some stuff in the past where it's like, oh yeah, never do that again, and didn't do it right. cut all this weight, you know, and then I was weak as shit by the tournament. It was fast, but I had no power left. I was just, you know, shelling myself. So never, ever will I do that again.
Yeah, and Marco says, yeah, it's Sasha gaining weight probably his strongest ever.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, if Sasha wins both matches, I would generally be impressed.
No,
Tell you what.
I'm calling it.
You call him what?
He's going to beat John.
Okay. And now we get to the super heavyweight championship match between one Devon Larratt, one Denis Saplenkoff. Anytime you have a Devon match, there's always going to be some shenanigans leading up to it. Mind games, if you may.
And they're manufactured, and it's almost like soapbox time here.
Ooh.
I don't want to get too far down the rabbit hole because I wouldn't want to risk offending anybody. But this whole business about people getting knocked out and fighting and getting in people's faces, half that shit never happened. And, you know, there really only seems to be one aggressor in all of this, and it's not Dennis or his crew.
No.
So what are you building a match for that you want to fight the guy that's training or the buddy of the guy you're actually arm wrestling?
Are you doing that because the fact that you feel that there may be not a definite chance of him winning?
I don't know. But, I mean, they're talking about, like, Devon's calling for a boxing match after already.
Why?
Like, for sports to put it up, or I don't know, man. But, I mean, I don't need to see that boxing match ever again because I saw it against Hafthor and it was, you know.
Thank God I didn't buy that pay-per-view.
I don't wanted my money back at the end of that one, but it's all good. I hope we get to see an arm wrestling match and not a circus.
Has Devon lost his fucking mind?
No comment.
Well, that was more for the chat. But because it's like, I'm at a point where any Devon match is kind of like, you just kind of rub your head and go, can we just arm wrestle? Can we just arm wrestle?
You know what the shame is of all this? Is I think Devon feels like he needs to do this to get an advantage and get a win. But he's probably strong enough to compete with Dennis anyway.
That's what I'm saying. You don't have to go through all that. I think he does that to try to get in someone's head. Well, newsflash, he did it versus Levon. Levon's not American, so he's probably going to be like, what the fuck's he talking about? Dennis, the fuck he's talking about, you know?
And I'm not watching that press conference because I don't want to see that shit. I don't care.
I'll watch until the last when they bring Dennis and Devon on, then I'll probably turn it off. But
I don't know if you're gonna like if everyone's sitting there at the same time, you're not gonna hear the end of Devon and Jody saying stuff. If they keep them in the back and interview all the rest of them, maybe you can get some value out of it.
See, and I'm pronouncing his name wrong. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. Because he said it before. Legia?
Yeah.
Like I said, didn't watch a single drama video from this match. I have no interest in this circus. I agree. Totally spot on. Because now it's like, are we watching fucking arm wrestling? Or are we watching fucking 90 Day Fiance? The fuck we doing over here?
Well, there's only a few channels that I actually like watch of arm wrestling. And one of them is SATV, Krieg's channel, Sweden. Mm-hmm. And he is covering the shit out of this drama on this match. So it's been popping up. And then I get other guys texting me stuff and they're like, they say, don't you watch anything? And I'm like, well, when it comes to that, I try not to. But
you would think and honestly, with names like Denis Saplenkoff, Devon Larratt, that alone should hold enough water where you don't need to do that to try to hype a matchup. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You shouldn't have to do that.
Well, you're going to get to see those two guys arm wrestle. So that should be enough.
Because I mean, it's serious. I mean, it's like, dude, I mean, can we like again with this? Like, oh, I just sit there and kind of, but when you're the champ, of course you're gonna get the publicity and you're gonna get the benefit of the doubt, but we don't need the extra, theatrics leading up to a match. We got 7 minutes left in the show, guys. We got to cut it short, but at the same time, we have
got to cut it short, maybe even a couple more minutes because we got to have our conversation afterwards.
Yes. So there's a big, strong feeling in my stomach that wants Dennis to win, because if he does win, then we'll get the match of the true match of the century when we have Dennis versus Levon. End of. That's what we all want to see. However, if Devin happens to win, are we going to finally see the Devin versus this new and improved Jerry Cataract?
Now, there's a few of these matches that have like the same theme. Is the opponent 100%? In my opinion, there's like 3 matches on here, and this one is one of them. If Dennis is 100%, I think he wins. But the question is he?
Why would you not? Hell, I mean, it's not like he pulls a lot anyway, because the last time we saw Dennis was against John, went through him 6-0. I mean, was John healthy? I don't know, but hell, he pulls. He's like Levon, pulls once every fucking 6, 7, 8 months. Yeah. That's what it feels like.
Jay says it here. Like Devin should be a favorite. Yeah, he should be.
And let's not go by the last time he pulled, because that was a left-handed match. So, and Devin had the weave in his hair or whatever the fuck it was. But
yeah, and he looked like a shadow of this version.
Right.
Like, I think his head is bigger now. Like it wasn't even the same stratosphere last time.
Here, I'm gonna go on and say this. Dennis 3-1. And I'm saying that because I really want to see Dennis versus Levon.
Well,
that's the only reason why I'm picking that. Watch everybody jump on my case for that.
I'm going to hate myself for saying this. But I think Devin's going to win 3-0.
3-0? It wouldn't surprise me if he did. I just want to see Dennis win, because we all want to see Levon and Dennis to see, okay, who is the alpha male?
I don't know, man. Like, I also think that if this match, whoever wins it, I think goes back up against Levon. So you're going to have Dennis, which is probably more exciting because we've never seen it.
Mm-hmm.
And there was always that question, is Levon the guy, or is Dennis the guy before he went out with his issues? There was that question mark, right? If Devin wins, he gets to have his rematch, but the last time was so one-sided that it didn't matter.
Right.
But I know that Devin's not the same guy he was back then either. I think you build it up either way. And either way, like if Zauer wins, he's going to get one of these two guys.
Hey, Legia, we haven't forgot about Hermes, because if you want to put him in the mix where no one's made Levon struggle like Hermes did, never forget that either.
Yeah, but then we saw Devin just take Hermes to school.
Yeah, but I'm looking like this. Hermes was already done mentally up here before he got to the table because of all the shenanigans that Devin plays. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to see how all this unfolds tomorrow afternoon, everyone. Well, morning West Coast time, as you know.
And are we back on Tuesday, our regular time, to talk about the results?
Yes, we're back on Tuesday. Home inspection's done. Won't have to worry about that.
Awesome. Well, Jody, let's sign off. Let's have our quick convo. and I got to go to a parent-teacher interview. But my kids got good marks, so it shouldn't be too much to report.
All good. Everybody, thanks for joining us on the show. We'll see you Tuesday and talk about the aftermath.